Sami Zayn turns on Roman Reigns. The best and worst of WWE Raw. A blockbuster Bad Bunny report. Who is Penta? Everything you need to know about WWE's latest signing. Backstage heat on Penta after WWE Raw debut. Unfortunate Hulk Hogan news from the WWE locker room leaked. Finn Balor wheeled out. Matt Riddle signs an exclusive wrestling deal. Triple H criticized for overexposing himself across WWE programming. Let's dive right in. The best and worst of WWE Raw. That's more like it. The second episode of WWE Raw on Netflix was a massive improvement on the first. For starters, it wasn't filled with celebrities and part-timers cutting unnecessary promos. No long-time storyline was ruined in the making of this show. There was a lot to love with WWE Raw tonight. So much so that we couldn't cover everything. A quick shout-out goes to Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser for yet another banger to add to their collection. Meanwhile, the field for the men's Royal Rumble match looks absolutely stacked so far. So, with that in mind, here are the biggest positives and negatives from tonight's episode of WWE Raw. Number 1. Best. An epic debut. As heavily spoiled ahead of WWE Raw, Penta finally made his debut. He did so in front of a raucous San Diego crowd, who was with him right from his entrance. The former AEW star proceeded to have a classic with Chad Gable. Both stars went for it over here, with Penta even hitting a Mexican destroyer for a near fall. It eventually ended after the debutant hit a Penta driver for the win. As far as first impressions go, this was perfect. He was so good that the match and his promo afterward got him some backstage heat. Cero miedo indeed. Gable deserves a boatload of credit too, following what may end up being his final WWE Raw match if he an American-made move to SmackDown. Number 2. Worst. Another main event for Jay, but at what cost? Jey Uso cut a fiery and passionate promo on WWE Raw as he was revealed as Gunther's next challenger. It's always great seeing the Yeet Master in this role, where he always thrives, but then you remember he is not winning the World Heavyweight Championship. In all seriousness, the chances of Uso dethroning the ring general at Saturday night's main event are slim. This is why it's counterproductive to keep on putting him in these big matches, even if he likely won't lose clean. If not this one, Jey Uso's next world title shot needs to end with the belt in his hands. Number 3. Best. Lyra soars to victory on WWE Raw. The final of the Women's Intercontinental Championship tournament showcased how stacked WWE Raw's roster is. Lyra Valkyria and Dakota Kai are exactly the type of performers who would benefit from a women's mid-card title. So, of course, it was vindicating when both stars put on a fantastic match to determine the inaugural champion. In the end, it was Valkyria who got the job done. She won with the Nightwing, while Kai looked great in defeat. The post-match angle was well done too, with both competitors showing respect to each other. Dakota Kai's journey doesn't end here. However, for now, Lyra Valkyria is soaring high. Number 4. Worst. Where is Becky? Speaking of successful Irish women, it's been a while since we've seen Becky Lynch. The man's return is imminent, with many expecting it to come on WWE Raw tonight. Unfortunately, though, we had to sit through a mini promo train instead. Rhea Ripley came out to celebrate her Women's World Championship victory. However, she was interrupted by Nia Jax, who declared for the Women's Royal Rumble match. Bayley followed soon after. This is essentially confirmation that Mommy won't defend her title until after the Rumble. Lynch should have returned on WWE Raw and set up a big-time Women's World title match against Ripley. We will have to wait a little while longer for this reign to properly get going. Number 5. Best. The feud is finally over. Whether or not the match was any good, this would have been a positive. The feud between Damian Priest and Finn Balor is over. We can finally move on. It does help that the two ex-teammates headlined WWE Raw in a fun street fight. Priest looked incredible, fighting off Balor's Judgment Day cronies. The War Raiders eventually evened the odds for him, but the Punisher had a great outing regardless. The fight ended after multiple South of Heaven chokeslams. Damian Priest has put Finn Balor down for good. It was a return to form for the Prince, so the defeat wasn't all bad. A blockbuster Bad Bunny report. WWE has been home to several notable celebrity superstars, many of whom have made a strong impression on fans, such as Logan Paul, Pat McAfee, Maria Menounos, and Lawrence Taylor, among others. Bad Bunny is another high-profile star who shocked the WWE universe in recent years. The two sides are now in the news again, but multiple sources dismiss a major story. The self-proclaimed king of Latin trap debuted with WWE in 2021. Bunny then made his in-ring debut at WrestleMania 37, teaming with Damian Priest to defeat The Miz and John Morrison. The 15-minute match served as the co-main event of Night 1. Several months later, the Puerto Rican entertainer made his Royal Rumble debut in 2022, entering at number 27 as a surprise entrant and eliminating Sheamus, then joining Rey Mysterio to eliminate Dolph Ziggler. Eventual winner Brock Lesnar tossed Bunny out after a 7:41 run. Bad Bunny's last match was at WrestleMania Backlash in May 2023. The three-time Grammy Award winner returned to Puerto Rico to defeat Damian Priest in a 25-minute San Juan street fight in front of almost 18,000 fans. He caused a stir in the world of wrestling today when he announced that Backlash would be going to Mexico. He did not provide a date or venue, but mentioned that Backlash went to France in 2024 because WWE saw that taking the PLE on the road worked. The claim is now being disputed. World Wrestling Entertainment has not publicly responded to Bunny's claim as of this writing, and Backlash has not been added to the schedule yet. However, PW Insider reports that multiple sources within WWE have said Bunny's comments were not accurate. Sources reiterated that there are no current plans to hold Backlash in Mexico. Bunny has not provided further information on his remarks. Fightful Select also had multiple sources deny that Backlash is planned for Mexico. In recent years, a WWE PLE in Mexico has been rumored, and Rey Mysterio has encouraged it. However, Bad Bunny's claim is believed to have been made after he saw a Backlash Mexico graphic from a parody account on X, which made the rounds during Christmas week. Who is Penta? Everything you need to know about WWE's latest signing. Penta, a huge name in Lucha Libre wrestling in Mexico, has finally made his WWE debut on tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. For weeks, WWE had been airing teasers between episodes featuring him with a slash across, hinting at the Mexican superstar's debut at the promotion. It was rumored that Penta, whose contract with Tony Khan's AEW had expired, was headed to WWE. As expected, the former AEW Tag Team Champion debuted against Chad Gable and comprehensively won his first bout at the promotion. So, who is Penta? Born on February 5th, 1985 in Jalapa, Veracruz, Mexico. He was never seen in WWE. However, he is an immensely popular wrestler who has wrestled under multiple ring names at several promotions, with his last one being AEW. In AEW, he wrestled with his brother Rey Fenix, known as Lucha Brothers. The duo made their debut at the Jacksonville promotion in 2019. They started on a losing effort against the Young Bucks, but soon climbed up the ladder of success in the promotion, winning the AEW World Tag Team Championship at All Out in 2021. The following year, they won the AEW World Trios Championship alongside Pac, FKA Neville, as part of Death Triangle stable. However, Penta didn't achieve fame in AEW, but came to the promotion because of the fame he achieved as part of the Lucha Libre television series. He started wrestling in 2004 and slowly moved up to Lucha Libre ALA worldwide in 2010. At the promotion, he wrestled superstars like Rey Mysterio and Ricochet, and even wrestled in intergender matches with Chelsea Green and Sky. He joined Impact Wrestling in 2018, and that year brought glory to him as he won 5 titles that year. The Mexican superstar wrestled in 162 matches in total, fighting at promotions like AA, MLW, Defy, Warrior Wrestling, The Crash, and CMLL, to name a few. By then, the Lucha Brothers had become quite popular in the wrestling business, and in 2019 they signed deals with AEW. After a fruitful run at the promotion for nearly 5 years, the 39-year-old superstar has moved to WWE. The Lucha Brothers, Penta and Rey Fenix, were thought to be WWE bound when the news of their contract expiry started circulating. However, due to an injury, additional time was added to Fenix's contract with AEW. Fenix hasn't been seen wrestling at AEW since July, and has even in some deleted posts on X expressed his disappointment with AEW figureheads for not helping him with medical doctors for his injury. So, by the time Rey Fenix makes his way to the Stamford-based promotion, which may be by the end of this year, Penta will establish himself as a singles superstar. It remains to be seen if he will be able to become the next Rey Mysterio at the Stamford-based company. Backstage heat on Penta after WWE Raw debut. An interesting report came out shortly after Penta's debut match on tonight's episode of WWE Raw. As per PW Insider, the former AEW star spent more time in the ring than was allotted to him. Pentagon Jr. is now a WWE superstar. His debut had been teased for quite some time, and he finally appeared on tonight's Raw episode. The Mexican star picked up a dominant win over Chad Gable in his Red Brand debut. Now, as per a report by PW Insider, Penta spent more time in the ring than WWE had allotted him. This didn't sit well with some talents. We did confirm that between the match and his post-match promo, Penta went way longer than initially planned to go, which led to time being trimmed from other segments later in the show. There were some talents obviously not thrilled about that, as you can imagine. Pentagon Jr. has impressed many fans with his performance on the Red Brand tonight. If the report by PW Insider is to be believed, there's already heat between him and some superstars. Only time will tell if this will affect his booking going forward. Unfortunate Hulk Hogan news from the WWE locker room leaked. Hulk Hogan's WWE comeback has officially kicked off, but now there are more questions than answers. Despite his recent years of controversy and political talk, his appearance on Raw's Netflix premiere surprised many in the industry. A new report on Hogan from the locker room paints an awkward setting for this run. The Hulkster returned to WWE TV on last week's historic Raw and brought Jimmy Hart. Hogan was caught off guard as the Los Angeles crowd immediately welcomed him with loud boos. A previous Backstage report leaked details on how the appearance fell apart and the real reason for Hogan's return. It's believed that the NWO boss will continue appearing for the company, at least while the partnership with Hulk's Real American Beer gets off the ground. Hogan and WWE were unhappy backstage, as revealed in another bombshell Raw report. The 71-year-old and World Wrestling Entertainment had a rocky relationship in recent years, but have been on good terms after Hulk made appearances while trying to revamp his image. Hogan's recent support of President Trump secured more heat with certain fans, but Fightful Select indicates that there is no coming back from some actions, as the Hulkster is still frowned upon by some in the locker room. The Immortal is close to some grapplers from different eras, but word is that most of the current crop of superstars are not fans or friends. When asked about the current roster's general behind-the-scenes feelings toward the six-time WCW champion, many who have discussed Hogan privately just feel like he is not genuine. The update noted that there's really not a ton of information to add, implying that Hogan's presence is not a big deal either way. However, Hogan inked a new Legends deal last year and has made various appearances while trying to revamp his image. He picked up more heat with certain fans after endorsing President Trump last year. However, despite Hogan being on good terms with WWE these days, it's apparent that there is no coming back from some incidents as he still has significant heat among some in the locker room. Officials have not confirmed when Hogan will return to TV, but they are high up on the on-air brand deal with his Real American Beer Company. A source claimed the partnership is not currently expected to end. World Wrestling Entertainment is permanently linked to the biggest legends in wrestling history, and they keep many of these greats affiliated via WWE Legends contracts. Terms may vary, but the deals offer access to various revenue streams and opportunities. Hulk Hogan previously indicated that he was signed to a 5-year WWE Legends contract while talking to Logan Paul on his podcast. Hogan later spoke with Patrick Bet-David and offered an update, noting that he received a custom-made deal when he signed a 5-year contract in 2023. At that time, I signed a 5-year deal with WWE, and it's not a Legends deal. There's a lot more to it than that, but we've got a ton of projects, documentary stuff, movie stuff, Hulk Hogan said. Finn Balor wheeled out. Finn Balor was being wheeled out of WWE Raw on a stretcher when something unexpected happened. The star had suffered a bad fall earlier. Damian Priest and Finn Balor have been at each other's throats for some time now. Both stars have been evident in trying to ensure the other is not happy. Balor, in particular, has not been able to rest easily, spoiling opportunity after opportunity for Priest. The grudge between the two stars has resulted in multiple matches, but it was time to put everything to rest, with the match tonight being a street fight. The two stars met in a match that would never be contained in the ring, and it spilled out to the ringside area and then into the crowd. It ended with Priest and Balor falling through a platform full of equipment. It was a bad fall for Balor, and medical personnel put him on a stretcher and then wheeled him to the back. However, there was a twist. Damian Priest was not about to let it go that easily, and even though Adam Pearce protested, he wheeled Balor back to the ring, and the two continued their match. Despite the best attempts by JD McDonough and Carlito, it ended with Priest getting the win over Finn Balor. Matt Riddle signs an exclusive wrestling deal. Matt Riddle's wrestling journey has hit a major milestone as he signs an exclusive contract with MLW. After being released by WWE in 2023, Riddle wasted no time making an impact across the wrestling world. Now, as the reigning MLW World Champion, it's clear the company sees him as a top star. According to Lucha Libre Online, Riddle inked the deal with MLW in late 2024. The contract includes a commitment to MLW's strategic alliance with CMLL, meaning Riddle will no longer compete for 8AA to respect the partnership. While this doesn't guarantee Riddle will appear in CMLL, it shows MLW's dedication to maintaining strong ties with their allies. Riddle's MLW career is already off to a blazing start. At Kings of Coliseum in Dallas, he defeated wrestling legend Satoshi Kojima to capture the MLW World Championship. The move solidified Riddle as the face of the promotion and showcased MLW's trust in him to carry the brand forward. Despite a less than stellar run in NJPW, Riddle's MLW chapter is quickly shaping up to be a game game-changer. With his title win bringing more attention to the promotion, fans are eager to see how he'll elevate both MLW and his own career in the process. Matt Riddle is proving that second chances can lead to incredible opportunities, and his exclusive deal with MLW cements him as a key player in the promotion's future. Do you think Matt Riddle has what it takes to become the cornerstone of MLW? Triple H criticized for overexposing himself across WWE programming. Monday Night Raw's Netflix debut on January 6th kicked off with Triple H introducing fans to the new era of WWE. Triple H has been at the helm since taking over as the head of creative in WWE back in 2022, and while many fans are happy with how he has turned WWE around, a former WWE star has criticized Triple H for overexposing himself. While speaking on the Stevie Richards show, Stevie Richards shared his thoughts on Triple H's role in WWE, criticizing how the new era concept is being overused. He noted that Triple H has been pushing this idea heavily at events like WrestleMania, Raw, and even on Netflix since Vince McMahon left in early 2024. However, Richards said that constantly calling everything a new era makes it lose meaning, comparing it to how Dixie Carter often claimed she was changing wrestling during her time in TNA. Triple H was doing this at WrestleMania last year, constantly talking about new era, new era, new era all the way through. Ever since Vince left in, January 2024? That's all this has been. But now, on the biggest platforms, WrestleMania, Raw, Netflix's debut, this is where he's really driving it home that Vince is gone. But if everything is the new era, it's like Dixie Carter's deal where every month something was supposed to change the face of wrestling. If everything's the new era, then nothing's the new era. Richards also pointed out that Triple H seems to be everywhere in WWE programming, even though he can't wrestle anymore due to medical issues. He mentioned examples like Triple H getting involved in storylines with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, where nothing physical can happen because of his condition. And dare I say, Triple H has been everywhere. I've seen posts online, 14, 15 different things, and it's all about Triple H. This is still my theory. These guys, at any level, cannot let go. Triple H obviously can't perform because of his medical issues, but I keep going back to the Saturday night's main event thing. Why is it that after the Cody stuff and the package pile driver, which everybody has forgotten about, Cody was able to just hit a diamond cutter and not get any heat? We'll get to the no heat on this show whatsoever. But then Triple H and Kevin Owens get into a shoving match after he lays out Cody. There's this weird thing where Hunter keeps interjecting himself into angles, but there's no payoff because he can't get physical in the ring. Richards compared this to independent wrestling promoters who make themselves the stars of their own shows, stating that Triple H's involvement might actually hurt WWE. He added that if WWE is trying to show they have moved on from Vince McMahon's influence, they could be causing more harm to their own product. It's like, you talk about money marks? This feels like a promoter putting himself on top of an indie show. Everywhere you turn, it's Triple H. And if they're trying to stick it to Vince with all this, they're only damaging the product themselves. Sami Zayn turns on Roman Reigns. This year's WWE Royal Rumble match is significant. Currently, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and more are already confirmed for this high-profile match. Fans are excited to see what will unfold when these huge names enter the 30-man over-the-top rope battle. Meanwhile, during this week's WWE Raw on Netflix, there was a major hint that OG Bloodline member Sami Zayn might turn on Roman Reigns. This scenario could unfold during the 2025 Royal Rumble match. During this week's show, Sami Zayn had a backstage segment with The Visionary. In the segment, the 40-year-old star consoled Rollins after his loss to CM Punk last week, affirming himself as Seth's friend. In response, the former WWE World Champion mocked Sami, stating that he only aids the original tribal chief in every matter without thinking about himself. Following this, Sami Zayn approached Adam Pearce's office, though the outcome of their meeting had yet to be disclosed. However, it's most likely that the honorary use approached the Raw general manager to make his entry official for the Royal Rumble match. If this is the case, it will create an interesting situation, as Roman Reigns will also be involved. Since every man is for himself in the over-the-top rope battle, there's a chance that Sami Zayn might attempt to eliminate Roman Reigns. However, Zayn is expected to fail in this attempt and may be eliminated from the match instead. This angle could again plant seeds for drastic changes within the original bloodline in WWE. Following this, the honorary use might quit the faction to focus on himself rather than just aiding Roman Reigns. It remains to be seen how the storyline progresses in the upcoming weeks and whether Roman and Sami will simultaneously participate in the Royal Rumble match. Besides adding himself to the traditional men's Royal Rumble match, Sami Zayn may demand a world title shot from the Raw general manager. manager. Currently, Jey Uso is set to face Gunther at the upcoming Saturday Night main event, with the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. With Rollins mocking Sami for his accolades, the honorary use could be aiming to pursue a major accolade by attempting to win the World Heavyweight title. Following this meeting, WWE could announce that Sami will clash against the winner of the Jey Uso versus Gunther World title bout.